dating is a delicate dance of having fun, but also feeling out where things are going and when to have the talk. But modern dating seems to have been even more confusing, where defining the relationship is becoming less and less common before jumping into bed together. So by today's standards, there are like 3 levels of dating: hanging out and not having sex, hanging out and having sex, having a connection and liking each other. Now the problem is one person could be feeling a connection and unsure where the other person stands because things may feel like a relationship, but nothing is defined. So this is where we fall into uncharted territories called the situationship. A situationship is a romantic relationship that's undefined or uncommitted. It may be based on convenience or short-term circumstances. That doesn't mean a situationship can't have the same or even all of the trappings of a regular relationship, including an emotional connection. Unlike friends with benefits, where both parties agree to avoid developing feelings, the boundaries of a situationship are usually less clear. One partner might be waiting to see if the relationship becomes more serious over time. But often this limbo period of sorting out feelings and defining the relationship can just feel awful and make you anxious and cause many downward spirals if you're ready to make it official and they're dragging their feet. Now, I don't want you wasting your time on someone who will never be able to commit to a real relationship. So here are some signs you are in a situationship, and it's most likely time to put up some boundaries and have the talk. You act like a couple, but have no title. They only make short-term plans or wait until the last minute to ask you to hang out. There's a lack of consistency to how much you hang out. They haven't really opened up to you on a deeper level. They haven't introduced you to any friends or family. You are confused about where things are going. Now, to an outsider, it might be easy to tell that this is just a casual fling between 2 people pretending it's more than what it is. But in matters of the heart, it's hard to think clearly. And the justifications we put all over those red flags are what gets us in trouble. So you may be justifying the behavior with reasons like, they're just really busy. They're still hurt from the last relationship. There's so much potential. I can change them. They're just scared of commitment. They don't think you can give me what I need. So here's the translation. They're just really busy means they're keeping their options open. They're still hurt from the last relationship. Well, this is a definite possibility, but it also means that they're emotionally unavailable if they haven't healed those past wounds. So net, they're not ready for something more. You can change them. No, you can't, actually. If you couldn't date who they are right now, then you're dating potential and not the reality. They're just scared of commitment. No, they're enjoying sleeping with you without having to do any of the work a boyfriend does. They don't think they can give me what I need. Listen to people when they tell you what their limits are. If someone says they can't meet your needs and you stay with them, then please expect to never have your needs met, okay? Now, many ask, can a situationship turn into a relationship? And the answer is sometimes. But the only way to do this is by communicating what you want and running the risk that they don't want the same thing, and whatever you two have will come to a screeching halt. But I actually think this is a great thing, since you will be set free from someone who is never going to be more than a casual hookup. It's everyone's choice when they decide to become intimate with someone, but I think it's important to say this in case there are women watching who don't know this already. A man can sleep with you and have zero connection to you. A man can sleep with you on a regular basis and have zero desire to be your boyfriend. A man can sleep with you and say he wants to be with you and that he doesn't want you to be with anybody else, but still not define the relationship and have no intent of ever taking it to the next level. So, going off what happens when you're intimate is a horrible misrepresentation of what is actually happening in regards to a relationship and if they have real feelings for you. The signs of a relationship happen outside of the bedroom and are far more telling. Here are signs that you're in a relationship or moving towards one. You hang out regularly, spend most of your weekends together, and communicate every day. You don't have any confusion about how they feel about you. You've met some of their friends or family. You make long-term plans together, like attending weddings or planning trips. You talk about each other's past or where you are going in the future. They care about your feelings and are curious about getting to know you. You are exclusive with each other and are committed to each other. Now, of course, if it's early on, like 1 to 3 months, it may be too early to truly know, but by using these as markers, you will see early on if things are progressing in the right direction. But if you're at the point where you don't want to see other people, but you're having sex and there isn't consistent behavior, it may be time to take a step back and put up some boundaries. Now, the only way to know if you are in a situationship is if you ask about defining the relationship at an appropriate time, not date number 2, and they say something like, I really like you and I don't want to be with anybody else. And you say, okay, so then I'm your girlfriend. And they say, oh no, I don't want to define. Let's just keep this open. So what that means is they like the benefits, but don't see it going to the next level. To further check, you would say, so then we're allowed to see other people then, right? And they say, oh, no, 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 no. Then that is a sign you're on the back burner, where they want you to themselves, but are keeping their options open. The tough thing with situationships is that you will act like a couple at times, and it can feel like you're a couple, but there aren't any titles. And at some point, you must realize this just isn't going anywhere. Now, it's not uncommon to come to the table with some baggage of past blunders and have reaction to certain phrases like girlfriend or boyfriend and saying I love you, because in the past they were pressured to say these things too early with someone they weren't ready to say them to. These are the people who will shy away from labels at the beginning, but whose behavior is consistent with a relationship. Not seeing other people, daily communication. These are people who will shy away from labels in the beginning, but whose behavior is consistent with a relationship. Not seeing other people, daily communication, hanging out on a schedule, who just get a bit uncomfortable with labels while they feel out if things are for real since they've been fooled in the past. These are the situationships that have space to become a relationship because the behaviors are consistent. And when you have a dialogue and where things are going and they're on board and willing to make long-term plans, but they just take a bit longer to use the actual words boyfriend or girlfriend. But the willingness to talk it through, be open with what saying those labels mean to you, and leaving space for things to develop naturally is perfectly okay if the behavior and communication are consistent. So be mindful to not project what you want the relationship to be and be realistic of what it actually is. Because the longer you waste time on a situationship that isn't going anywhere, the more entrenched you will be in chasing the what if and wasting time that could be spent towards someone willing to go the distance with you.